Hey, welcome, Gopher fans. Andy O'Connor along with Lexi Chase and Rick Irish. Well, Lexi, welcome. Glad we got you back in town here for a few days. You're able to join us here and do tonight's broadcast. EB had to go to another softball game, so it's you and I and Rick tonight. So
Thank you, thank you. I'm excited to be here on this great day. It's really warm out, so that's great. Sun shining. Can't ask for anything better than today.
Well, we got Stewartville coming into town tonight. They've had, one game that we've seen on as far as game changer is concerned. Not a whole lot of stats to go down through with them. Gophers, however, having themselves a nice start to the year, and anything above 45 degrees so far in this spring season has been awesome. Rick and I did a game Saturday where it was just a bit chillier than this. So, but Gophers here. Talk a little bit here about what we've got going on for Chatfield here, Lexi.
Yeah, so we've only played a couple games so far. So the stat line, they only have a handful at bats, but we have a few girls batting over 300, so that's really nice to see early in the season. And they're just starting to get in their groove, so I can't imagine these numbers getting any worse than this. So I'm really excited to see what they have to bring to the floor. As far as pitching, we have Riley Urban pitching most of the game so far. She has 13 innings, and Katrin Johnson has 1 so far. But like I said, early in the season, so I'm imagining both of these girls will have a lot more time to see throughout the season.
Well, we got Riley, young pitcher here. She threw quite a few innings last year here, and Caitlin's got a lot of experience on the mound. Now we look at our defensive setup here. We've also got a lot of girls that are, they're entering that veteran phase of their careers here. So good to have a lot of experience in the field. What are a couple of things that we can probably hang our hats on defensively? Because that's such a huge thing in fast pitch softball.
Yeah, so these girls, I can tell that they're putting in good stat lines and they're not making that many errors, which is really good. Backing up their pitcher is what's really huge.
Well, first pitch, strike there on the outside half, swinging here. It's Kaylee Lehman, or Lehrman rather, for Stewartville. So 0-1. Good cut straight back there, but nonetheless up 0-2, and something you like to see here from from your pitcher right off the bat with a couple of strikes, not getting too exotic, just coming right down Main Street for the most part.
Yeah, that's really exciting to see. And anytime you can get ahead is really great. Little change-up action there, which is always great. Up in the count, you can kind of put it where you want to put it and let the hitter work for it.
Well, I did a couple of games with EB last year, and she started to really get a hold on that change. Another foul ball. Good at bat here for Lehrman, just kind of stretching this count out.
Yeah, Riley's still up in the count, so that's really great to see. Maybe she can even put this ball up a little bit higher, get her to either swing and miss or take a ball, but still getting a little bit out of that range. She still has room to wiggle. There it is.
Hey, on the outside half again, gasses it up. First out here, Lehrman goes down on strikes.
Really effective at bat right there.
Oh, there's that.
First pitch changeup.
Yes.
Like to see that.
Well, mixing things up.
Yes. And starting with the first pitch strike, that's huge as well.
Foul ball over the concession stand. Look out below. Happy fans on their way into the game, just about getting knocked there with that one. Up 0-2, however. Good purpose pitch, down and away. Hard shot down to third base. There's scoop ball. Can't get that one out of the dirt. That got on McKenna really quick. McKenna at third base today and Bryn behind the plate. Just switching things up a bit. Give her a little shot over there at third and save those legs a bit. Long season behind the plate.
Yes. And that ball was hit hard, so hopefully we can see an adjustment next time and where we can see her where she can set her feet up and make a great throw. But early in the game,
Ooh, wow. Right back on her. Got her right on the elbow, I think. That was a rocket. Woo.
yeah, it's a tough.
So we're just gonna take a real quick break here while we see how Riley's doing. Well, actually, Riley, it's gonna take a lot for her to get out of the ball game. That's a tough kid, and it's really a great young lady, quite honestly.
Yeah, definitely takes a tough player to come back like that.
Well, right down the tube there on that practice pitch, and let's see. Great shot. That was the opposing pitcher, actually, Sydney Clark that hit that one, and that was a shot right back up the middle.
Yes. And hopefully Riley can shake this off. Sometimes it's easier to come right back into the game. From personal experience, I've had that happen plenty of times, and it's not fun, but if you push through hard and trying to think about it, it helps.
Well, if you think about it, was it 46 feet?
43.
43 feet, and, feigned bunt there. Nice job defensively by the Gophers. Everyone where they're supposed to be.
Yes, good rotation there.
But you've got a pitcher from 43 throwing, probably anywhere from 55 to 65, and that coming straight back even just as quick. So
it comes back hard
yeah.
and fast.
I wouldn't last long in this game anymore. So quickly up 0-2, one down here in the top of the first. Stewartville trying to mount a little something in the first inning. Nice pitch on the outside. They've done a pretty good job at the plate tonight so far of extending counts.
Yes, putting the ball in play, taking foul balls when they can, definitely.
Good stop down there by Bryn. 2-2 is the count, even up for Sydney Clark. And a lot off of that one and struck her out, second out of the inning.
That was really nice placement on Riley. It came in at a good height just off the plate. Really smart pitch placement there.
Well, to the plate is Addie Eckerman. Two down here. Nice. Down in the register, but Bryn, pretty good job of bringing that one up. Like to see her stay a little more quiet with the legs there and just bring the glove, but a good job framing that up. There you go. Quickly up 0-2.
It's looking like this umpire's having a nice strike zone, being consistent so far, so it'll be interesting to see how the game progresses and if that stays the same.
And gasses it up for her third strikeout of the inning. Well, one hit in that first inning, and I'm counting that one a hit. That was a hard hit ball. But no runs, one hit, no errors on or actually one error on the Gophers. We'll be back with the bottom of the first inning and the Gophers lineup right after this. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. Andy O'Connor along with Alexi Chase and Rick Irish. Well, one hit, one error there, and my first book error was in the books, so to speak. But we go to the bottom of the first inning. Zeros across the board here. McKenna Dornack to lead things off for the Gophers. Dangerous first hitter in the lineup for the Gophers. Evens coming up at 1 apiece.
That pitch was down at the knees. We'll see if he keeps calling that pitch or not.
Ooh. I think McKenna wanted to go a little quicker on that one. She wasn't 100% sure she was going to go with it. But 1 and 2. Push this thing out. Down in the zone, evens it up.
Yeah, the hardest thing as that leadoff hitter is to find that timing and figure out what pitches this pitcher likes to go for and just finding a groove there. So that's the most challenging part.
Does she look like she has a little bit different delivery here? She shows the ball a little further out than most pitchers.
Yeah.
And it might be just for that left hand, with a different angle.
No, yeah, especially so we have a lefty on lefty here right now, and I hit as a lefty, so I always felt when I faced a lefty pitcher that the pitch came on top of me so much faster than if it was a righty pitcher.
And we'll see if she's, yep, she went around, and you kind of saw Eckerman digging in that glove a little bit more, so she got a tighter grip on it, took a little something off and went up in the register. Brings up Britt Ruskell to the plate.
She's really trying to bring up that pitch, trying to get into bite.
That didn't look too bad, honestly. But we've already seen, though, he's going to give it at the knees or a little bit below, up to no further than the letters, honestly. 2-0. There's a little something off and on the outside. 2-1. Britt with good speed. Just need to get her on the base paths. Oh, and that catcher got that strike for her there. Evens the count at 2 apiece. We're going to have a fairly liberal in and out zone, though, I think. And down just a bit. Gets that second strikeout. Good start here for Eckerman. Katrin Johnson steps to the plate. And ball 1. Looks like she's tried to work that a little further out and down, just see what she can get out of it. Not too far off, really. Eckerman delivers, shot over to the right side, 4-3 put out to end the threat here in the bottom of the first. 3 up, 3 down. Score is 0-0 on the old Roland Wells scoreboard. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning after this. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. Andy O'Connor along with Alexi Chase and Rick Irish. Well, we go to the top of the second inning, 0-0 here between the Stewartville Tigers and the Chatfield Gophers. Ooh, good spot there. Riley Urban starting her second inning of work. She got hit with a ball right up the middle here and stayed in the game. There we go. First hit of the ball game here. Katrin Johnson down on it over in the left field. So Ashley Olson with the hit.
We'll see what Stewartville does with this, if they do a little bunt action or a steal. They did try to bunt in the first inning, so we'll see if they do that again.
It's starting to get so far the feel that every run is going to be really important in this ball game. Oh, took a lot off of that first pitch, and she hung off on it. I also was a little surprised she didn't square on that one, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, there
we
it is.
go.
Oh, pop up. Oh, just foul.
0-2.
That puts the hitter in a tough position where you take the first pitch and then try to bunt the second one. So we'll see if she chases anything here.
Ooh, good spot for that one. So as far as a changeup or just a straight fastball, which one is, in your mind here, easier to lay down a bunt with?
I would say a changeup. You have more time to get that ball down. It doesn't have as much velocity, so you can get it fair. But it also gives the defense more time to see that you're squared. So it's kind of a give and take situation.
Riley on that outside again. Good spot.
Riley being really effective again with that count. Super exciting to see early in the season.
Starts off ahead again. Mac Iverson at the plate. That was Michaela Birch. Michaela, I'm sorry I didn't get you. You were at the plate here this last at bat, but starts off 0-1 again. Squares to bunt again. He's going to push it to the right side. Foul.
So that's that second at bat in a row where they take that first pitch and try to bunt the second one. We'll see where Riley places this ball up in the count.
Fairly open stance here for Iverson. And she goes to the outside again. Nice. Second strikeout of this inning. Runner still on first base, stranded over there. Brings to the plate Johanna Calhoun. Little squibber to this right side. Flip over to first from Britt Ruskell to Grace Finley for the third out of this inning. And we go to the bottom of the second. Gopher 0, Stewartville 0 on the Roland Well scoreboard. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Kendall Knutson, the cleanup hitter, is going to lead things off. 0-0, Stewartville and Chatfield. There it is, right on the outside. Seems like a good one just to shoot over in the right field line.
Kendall with a hot start to the season, batting .500 right now, super impressive. Hopefully we can see that continue today.
Goes up in the register just a bit. Gets up 0-2 right away. Yeah, we just need someone to hit a ball hard here, get things rolling. Maybe someone needs to kick the bats there between innings. Oh. Outside. 1-2. Good mix, though.
Just
And
underneath that.
Gonna be popped up. Gonna stay in the race here, though. Nobody down, bottom of 2. So you mentioned the hot start for Kendall, and I think she's been, power numbers have been good. On base percentage is obviously hitting over 500. OPS has got to be pretty good too.
Yeah, she's 1.071 OPS.
And you could start seeing some of that last year with Kendall, where she was really starting to get more comfortable here toward the second half of the season. And fortunately, it's really, just kind of carried over into this year so far. Oh, goes down in the zone. That first strikeout. Grace Finley to the plate. Want to say hello to Katie. She is in Prague. The only time I get information from Katie is when she's keeping book, and I didn't get one today. A little disappointed.
Time difference kind of thrown her off.
Darn details. Shoots one out, foul, out of play to the left side.
Hopefully these girls can start feeding off each other and learning about this pitcher as they go through the lineup.
Pretty predictable pitch here from Eckerman there. She's, she's done a really nice job of getting up in the count, but then coming back with that change to the outside, inside on Grays. And she's going to go to the outside, gasses it up a little bit. Second strikeout of this inning.
I think the best thing this Chatfield team can do right now is to make sure that they're going for their pitch and not going towards this pitcher's strengths, just making sure that they stay in their comfort zone.
So Riley Urban at the plate, and she will take ball 1. Is it every once in a while here, it's such a fast-paced game. We do a lot of baseball games, and yeah, they can be fast-paced, but this is a little different. We're in closer quarters. Can you get kind of caught up in that chaos every once in a while?
100%.
Ooh, shot to the right, and it's going to be foul.
Yeah, as you were saying, like, the game moves so fast, and sometimes your brain tries to move faster than the game, and you just have to take a step back and really just dial in on the one pitch, the one moment that you're in right now, and just try to do your best in that moment and not think too big.
Yeah, the one pitch and the next play mentality, and things start slowing down for these girls as they get older, just like it does in any game.
Yeah, you start getting more comfortable. You start learning how the game rolls, really, and then you just start having fun with it, too. Like
I always said to a lot of our ball players as well, I hope a lot of these girls are watching college ball, too. And just to see how things work. And like you mentioned the fluidity of it, moving along. Ball evens it up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, watching older girls is huge, just especially at the college level, because they've played so many games that you can see how fluid they play and how much they love the game, too. That's huge.
Another shot to the right side. Second baseman range is over, and it's going to be a fair ball, and we've got our first base runner. Riley says, to heck with it, I'm taking third on this one. And we've got a runner in scoring position here.
Big heads-up, aggressive play there for Riley. That was huge, getting all the way to third.
Well, that'll bring up Bryn Horseman, catcher today.
Well, we've got our first runner in scoring position. This is huge. We've had 2 outs right now, but I think if we put 1 in play right now, we can really squeeze a run in.
Nice confidence boost here for Riley here. She's been pitching well. She got hit that one time, and now she's on third base ready to score a run. But if they can squeak one across here in the bottom of the second, that not a nice little pitch on the outside once again. Bryn takes strike one. That one's out. Evens the count at 1 apiece.
That's a good ball not to chase. Try to still stay in your zone even though they just called a similar ball strike.
If I remember correctly, Bryn likes to pull the ball. She's got to be a little... Eckerman's been working outside quite a bit. You try to get around that too much, and you might get yourself a little bit of a squirrely bounce over there, and tough to yank one on that outside edge.
Yeah.
But good job hanging off of those last 2 pitches. So 2-1. There we go. Just a little bit further in here. Evens it up at 2.
Still staying consistent with that outside strike. Still staying strong with that pitch and not moving too far out as umpire-wise.
Good job extending this count for Bryn Horseman.
Really looking for a hard ground ball right now. Something through the infield. Nothing too crazy, not too pretty. Just something that'll work right now.
A lot of room up the gut. Oh, good job, Bryn.
Really
Holds
good
off
take.
of that.
Especially with the middles are in right now. They're not playing too deep, so that gives you more room to hit a ball hard and get it through the infield.
Hangs on. Good at bat here for Bryn Horseman.
You can always tell when a hitter's right on time because the ball goes straight back, so that's really nice to see, and now she just needs to barrel it up.
Payoff pitch here to Bryn Horseman, and she's going to take a walk up high. Well, a little double steal action going on, possibly.
Yeah, we'll see what the Gophers do with this.
Kylie Sin at the plate. Kylie with pretty good speed. Bryn with good wheels on first base. 2 outs, and unless you're supremely confident you're going to get anything down, I doubt it. Going to stay up high.
Bryn with a short lead, keeping everything safe right now. She knows she's not the priority right now, and Riley at third is to get that scoring run in.
Ackerman gets that first strike. Runners on first and third. Riley is over on third, and Bryn Horseman's at first base. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Gophers threatening to cut this one open. And there's that outside half again. Good spot. Let's get ourselves a productive at-bat here, Kylie. Good cut, but gets her strikeout, and that's going to go 3rd out of this inning. Gophers threaten here. The runners on first and third can't get them across, and we will go to the top of the 3rd inning right after this. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the top of the third inning. Kaylee Learman starts things off here for the Stewartville Tigers. Oh, good spot there from Riley. Ball one. So we find ourselves back at the top of the order for the Tigers. Pitchers duel thus far. Just a couple of hits in the ball game. Pop there. Over the dad section, apparently.
We'll see if this Stewartville team makes an adjustment the second time through the lineup and see how our defense does against it.
Riley goes up in the zone just a bit. Britt takes a few steps back. And a little fly out to second base. One down. Just 3 pitches in that at bat. Nice job by Riley. So Brooklyn Peterson up to the plate. She reached on an error in the first inning.
Yeah, that was that shot to third. So we'll see if we make an adjustment in the circle for this at bat.
Just assuming she try to work her out as much as she can and see. She looks like she's a yank or pull hitter. Oh, she hits a shot error there toward right field. Kylie Sin off the top of her glove. Kendall Knutson back to get it. Going to hit the cut. Good wheels by Peterson. And that is going to be runner at third base for the Stewartville Tigers.
Yeah, that ball kind of just kept sailing in this spring weather. Nothing really taking it down. The wind's not too crazy today, so it kind of just kept going.
So Sydney Clark steps to the plate. She was a strikeout victim here in her first at-bat in the first inning. A runner on third, one down, or a top of 3, actually. To short, going to look her back, going to get the out there, and she is safe at the plate. First run of the ball game. Good job looking her back, but Peterson with good wheels getting in there from third base.
Yeah, I don't think that was a wrong move at this point in the game. We're still still early in the game, so we still got the out, and that's huge, and now we have nobody on base.
Yeah, Maddie did pretty much played that as textbook as you wanted to. Looked her back. A good change on the outside. But we saw that with Peterson running here from the start on that when, triple on that. She's got good wheels, so she didn't feel too bad about taking off.
Yeah, very aggressive base runner there.
Count even at 1 apiece. Going to push it to the left side, and another base runner for the Tigers. Not trying to do too much for that outside pitch. She just laid it out there and pushed it.
Yeah, just stuck it through the infield and made it work.
So runner on first base, 2 down here in the top of the third. 1 run is across for Stewartville. I think we've got a pinch runner. Ireland Proper. And you don't hear Proper too often, so it could be. Good job hopping up out of there. Proper looks like she a little second thought about taking off. Shot over the Gophers dugout. And I know you don't want to be the third out getting caught stealing, or you'd rather not, but you've got to run in. It's going to be what looks like a tight ball game here. Do you take a shot? Take off with that pinch runner?
I mean, if you're putting a pinch runner in, hopefully she's fast. So I'm thinking
Right.
I would take the risk at this point of the game, put her in scoring position, and then one hit scores her at this point.
That one's down a little bit. Bryn, good job stopping that one. Good at bat so far here for Chusta. Falls another one off, evens this one up. Offering from Riley Urban, takes a little something off it and drops off the table a bit. He's going to get that strikeout to end the inning here. One run across here, however, for the Stewartville Tigers, 1-0 in favor of Stewartville. We'll come back with Maddie Proper, McKenna Dornack, and Britt Ruskell right after this. Well, welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Gophers down 1-0 here. Maddie Proper up at the plate. Fouls this one back. A little bit of youth at the plate. Maddie is, I believe, a freshman.
Looks like Maddie's batting at the 9 spot right now, so we call this like our second leadoff hitter. So we'll see what she does at the plate.
Shot on the outside. Good cut. Just missed that one. 0-2. Yeah, you mentioned the second leadoff batter, and you always talked about the number 9 batter. I think Britt Ruskell came up when she was just a young kid, and she was batting down at the 9, and her job was just to do whatever she could to get on base, whether it be a walk. She bunted quite a bit, started hitting the ball up the middle. Nothing like blistering, but she was on base.
Yes.
And then, you know, you come back with McKenna after Maddie here.
There we go.
Good shot. Got around on that one. That one is going to be foul.
She's right on it right now. My junior and senior year, I had the opportunity to bat 9 in our lineup, and I absolutely loved it. You had time to see the pitcher and see how your other hitters did against the pitcher, and it just gave you more time to really settle in, and I absolutely loved it those 2 seasons.
Little extra gas there on the outside is going to get her going down on strikes, but a pretty good at bat there for Maddie Proper. Take us back to the top of the order and McKenna Dornack. Yeah, I think when you start going level by level, and we always talk about, I'm not batting in the top 4 or 5 in here, but things are really important in the grand scheme of things at every level. And like you mentioned at 9, you just want to be on base, and you felt good about being there. The first thing is you're on the field.
Right. Every at bat counts. Every position counts. So if you're on the field, you're doing great.
Ooh, McKenna, that was. I'm gonna take this thing out of the park hack, I think, on that one.
Yes.
Goes after that one. 1-2.
McKenna needs to settle in right now, see a good pitch.
Takes a little something off it, and Eckerman doing a nice job of switching things up, gets her second strikeout of this inning. Like you mentioned, the Gophers probably going to have to move around in the box and, you know, change a couple of things up.
Yeah, especially the second time through the lineup. You've seen the pitcher, you can see what she's done, and just making adjustments as you go. And if that means you choke up a little bit, if that means you move up in the box, it just depends really on your swing and your individual style. That really matters so that you can put yourself on base for the team.
Little something off it, up to or 0-2 right away. Eckerman really settling in now. Like you mentioned, we're just going to have to break that cycle a bit, and we've got time. And she gets her third strikeout of this inning. Boy, a nice inning here for Eckerman. Gophers go 1-2-3, snapper mow 'em down inning. We're going to be back with the top of the fourth inning right after this. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. Andy O'Connor along with Lexi Chase and Rick Irish. Well, we go to the top of the fourth, and Lexi, we're down 1-0 here. We talk about having some time, but Eckerman has settled in pretty well for Stewartville, and Riley's done a nice job on the mound as well. Starts off with a strike here. Runs are going to be at a premium.
Yes, definitely. Any runner on base right now, really, for both teams, will need to be smart out there.
So Ashlyn Olsen at the plate for Stewartville. Nice change there. Quickly up 0-2.
Seems like both pitchers have kind of learned this umpire's zone where he's liking the knee pitch, kind of in the river, but nothing too high. So they both really zoned in on that low pitch.
And there's Riley with her first strikeout of this inning.
Both pitchers being really effective right now.
That was a nice sequence of pitches, though. She came in on her on that last pitch, just gassed it up and threw that change. And there's that on the outside. A little bit of a breaker, honestly.
Yes, no, that's looking great, especially for that first pitch strike.
There it is on the outside. Goes a little further out there, just nibbles over there, and she chases.
Really smart pitch there. You know, she swung at that first one, so he tried to go a little bit further out. Really smart sequence right there.
And that change, that just dropped right in there. Nice. Second strikeout here.
Really froze her there. That was great.
2 up, 2 down. Mac Iverson steps to the plate for Stewartville. Struck out in her first at-bat in the second inning. Fouls this one back.
As a pitcher, I always love those foul balls because it didn't matter if they swung and missed or hit a foul ball. It's still a strike, and you're up in the count already. So that's great to see.
It is down and away, but Swings probably would have gotten that strike anyway. That's been a pretty consistent call. Yeah, it's so much easier to pitch here, 0-2 or 0-1 even. That 3-0, especially with a younger pitcher, you're like, yeah, I got to throw one down Main Street, and I don't know if she's got the green light or not.
Yes. When you get down in the count, you really have to rely on your defense and your spins, which makes it a lot scarier. So when you get up in the count, you can control the at-bat, which is a really great place to be.
And Riley goes up. Still up in the count 1-2, though.
Yeah, not a bad pitch at all. You know, sometimes you got to give get hitters on their toes and they don't know what they're going to see. So sometimes those pitches are nice when you're up in the count.
And she's going to push one to the right side. Really a defensive swing, but good job hanging in there. 1-2 still. 2 down already here in the top of the 4th inning.
Still way up in the count. Still have room to work with this hitter.
And she's going to go up and get that 3rd strikeout here. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Good inning by Riley. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We will have Katrin Johnson, Kendall Knutson, and Grace Finley. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, folks. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning with Katrin Johnson leading things off. 1-0 ball game in favor of Stewartville. Riley Urban with a nice top of the 4th inning. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for her. High fly ball in the left field, and ranging over and making that play is the left fielder here.
Had a nice swing, just barely got underneath it. So seeing some good progress there.
Better contact here. Just a hit here for the Gophers. They're actually, you know, I counted that hit that Riley had where she got 3rd. I think a little give and take with her getting hit with that ball up the middle. I'm scoring her a hit there. That one is in back.
I'm liking the small adjustment I'm seeing with the hitters being more aggressive early in the count. That's really going to help them control their count more than the pitcher controlling them. So hopefully this continues.
Well, Kendall Knutson here, 0-1 in the count. But, yeah, like you mentioned here, getting the bat on the ball. Good spot. 0-2. Kind of thinking she'll stay right there, honestly. Ooh, good cut. Walk that one back there, catcher. Give him time. Well, she's not going to get this call now.
You're right. You always always have to play towards the umpire, right?
One of the little things here in ball. Walk that one out. Still shaking the cobwebs. 0-2 here to Kendall Knutson. And she goes up with it.
She's still fighting
and
here.
Yeah, good. Just can hold on to that one. Ground ball over there through the wickets there. And that's a base shot. Kendall's going to go for 2 all the way to the fence. She will go to 3rd. Stand-up triple for Kendall Knutson.
Way to be aggressive there. That was really nice to see. You saw those outfielders taking a tight line towards that ball, so they didn't quite get that good angle towards the ball, and they let it slip between them, so really taking advantage of that.
Well, just 1 down here in the top of the 4th, or the bottom of the 4th inning, rather. Kendall Knutson on 3rd. Grace Finley steps to the plate, and Grace just needs to get a little green here to bring Kendall home.
This is huge. Hopefully we can get a pulled ball to the right side. especially
Kendall.
with one out here.
So Grace down 0-1 in this count. Squares, and that's going to be outside. Kendall's going to come to the plate, slide, and be safe. And that's going to tie things up at 1 apiece, and it's going to be 1-1 to Grace Finley.
Yeah, she squared for that bunt, you know. Didn't happen how she wanted it to happen, but good things happen when you put pressure on the defense, and it just happened to slip from the pitcher's hand. Ball goes to the backstop, and you have a scored run.
And goes to the outside. Grace chases that one over there. 1-2 to Grace Finley. And strikeout there for the second out of the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring up Riley Urban. So Ackerman to deliver. And that one's going to stay up.
Yeah, we're in the bottom of the fourth, and the umpire's still keeping that consistent count, so that's really nice to see.
And Riley pushes this one to the right side. Second baseman ranges to her left a couple of steps, and that'll be the third out of the bottom of the fourth. However, Gophers get one and tie this thing up at 1 apiece. We'll go to the top of the fifth inning right after this. Welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the top of the fifth inning. Strike one from Riley Urban. Joanna Calhoun at the plate. Hello to Evie Allen. She is watching Peyton play tonight. Oh, she's up at GAC. So a nice start to the season here for St. Mary's, and Patty's been hammering the ball here early in the season. Strike two on the outside. Two strikes here to Calhoun. Nice.
1, 2, 3 at bat there. That's really good to see. Keeping the pitch count low, which is really nice, good to see, especially early in this season when there's so many games.
Kaylee Learman steps to the plate for Stewartville. Flew out to Britt Ruskell here in her last at bat. Pushes one over to the right side. You know, other than I think 2 balls that have been one hit over to the left side and foul ball over here, they have not caught up to Riley here, really.
No, she's doing a great job keeping them on their toes, mixing up speeds. and that's all you can do with a team like this.
So 1-1 to Learman.
Another change up on the outside
Yep.
corner. Really
Got
good.
the outside. Good job, Brent, here. Kind of turn that thumb in, and little help there, too.
Yeah, really working with the umpire's zone, so that's really good that she's learning that.
Well, there's another position here you really can't have. You got to have a couple of good catchers, and it's a tough position. You don't have a lot of young kids that really want to catch.
Yes, you definitely have to have an aggressive player who wants to be there and really take control of the game.
Well, if you think of it, you get to touch almost every ball and in on every play. Oh, tough hop there from Maddie Proper. That was hit hard and kind of hopped up over her head. Base runner here for the Tigers.
See if the Tigers want to bunt in this situation, try to move the runner into scoring position, especially with the tied game.
Well, this is, let's see, Brooklyn Peterson has been on base twice. Good wheels at the plate. One and 0. And she's going to hit one to left field. Catron, a couple steps back. Good job taking that first couple of steps back and then coming in on the ball, getting ready to throw. She was ready to go to second when she needed to. So the second out here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, good heads-up play by Catron Johnson over there. As an outfielder, your main goal is just get it back into the infield.
Good spot over there. Sydney Clark at the plate for the Tigers. Going to push it to the right. And there's Brent there. Like a cat. Didn't have to move a whole lot, but he's still pretty quick. 0-2 right away to Sydney Clark, Riley Urban. We'll see if she throws that change to her. And she's going to come inside. And that one's going to get through. They will hold up the runners at first and second, however. Kind of an in-between hop there on her. And just got past McKenna's glove. So 2 down, runners on first and second.
Yeah, tough play there. Main goal now is just to think about the next play and get the next out where we have 2 outs here. So now you just have to step on it.
Well, Addie Eckerman had a hit at her in her last at bat. Ooh, gonna get her at third. Nope. Oh, just got to the bag. So runners advanced to second and third. And did we come up a little, cleats a little high on that one? Looked like McKenna got cleated on that. That'll leave a mark. Well, runners on second and third, 2 down. Eckerman's going to hit this one over to the left side. Gopher's in chase. That'll be out of play. Shadows starting to come down here on the softball field. Hey, and she's going to ring her up on the outside. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And that one, she just wanted to see how far she could go outside. Well, she was over there. And, again, Bryn, good job keeping that glove still and bringing her back just a little bit. But McKenna, or rather Riley, gassed it up and got her with that strikeout. So crisis averted. Runners are stranded at second and third for the Stewartville Tigers. We are still tied at 1 apiece on the Roland Well scoreboard. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. Andy O'Connor along with Lexi Chase and Rick Irish. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Gophers will bring Bryn Horseman, Kylie Sin, and Maddie Proper to the plate. Ball just outside. And we'll see if Bryn get herself on base and help the old cause. Roller to the right side. Picked up. 4-3 put out. That'll bring up Kylie Sin. She struck out in her first at bat. Bryn, a little more aggressive on that at bat. I liked it. Just got on top of it a little bit.
Yeah, it was an inside pitch. I think the next at bat, if she makes that small adjustment and tries to pull that ball more, she'll be really good in a good situation.
Well, Kylie Sin, strike one right down the middle of the plate here for Eckerman. Strike two. Up just a bit, but not too bad of a pitch. One of those that kind of on the borderline what he's been calling here, so might have been able to get away with it. That one's down.
It's a good take right there. Good take.
So one down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Everything knotted at 1 with the Stewartville Tigers. There's a hit. Stay fair. Good job hanging in there, Kylie. Nice job.
Yeah, with two strikes on you, you're just thinking to put the ball in play, try to get a nice line drive, not doing too much, just put yourself on base.
Well, let's foul a bunch off here and make her work a little bit in this inning. She comes on the inside, gets her second strikeout here. So that'll bring up Maddie Proper.
We'll see if the Gophers can get a little 2-out rally going. See if we can continue this inning.
On the outside, takes just a little bit off of that. Maddie takes a little bit of a deep breath, gets back in the box. That'll be down and away. So Eckerman kind of working the whole zone, honestly. She's throwing a couple of those, just down in the dirt, hoping to get somebody to chase those. And then she's come back. Little backhand to the third baseman, 5-3 put out for the third inning, or for the third out of this inning, rather. And the Gophers go down in order. However, they're getting on top of the ball here, and hopefully here, 6th and 7th innings, they're going to start lighting things up. But we go to the top of the 6th inning. Gophers tied up 1-1 with the Stewartville Tigers. We'll be right back with the 6th inning right after this. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Gophers here, 1 apiece with the Stewartville Tigers. Shayla Schuster steps to the plate, fouls that first one off. Quickly up 0-1 is Riley Urban. Riley Urban and Eckerman have both settled in on the mound here. They've really looked comfortable.
Yeah, their stats are super similar right now. Just looking at them, Riley's thrown 75 pitches and 59 of them have been strikes, where Eckerman has thrown 76 pitches and 55 of them have been strikes. So both very similar numbers there.
Good job. Little purpose pitch here. Just, you know, if that's that same changeup that if it drops down or is placed 4 inches differently, it's frozen and she's striking her out. So nothing wrong with that pitch at all. Fouled back.
Still up in the count. Still has a lot of room to work.
So yeah, really good strike ratio for both pitchers.
Yes, very similar stat line as well.
Oh, there we go.
That's one that the umpire might call once in a while, so that was a good spot right there for this count.
Well, count sitting even up here at 2-2. Riley Urban delivers and fouled back. Good at bat here for Schuster. Making Riley work in this one. Fouled a few back already.
I am seeing Stewartville warm up another pitcher, so we'll see what they do there, even though Eckerman is throwing a really great game right now. Chatfield has been starting to put the ball more in play, so having somebody get ready is never a bad idea.
So another foul ball here for Schuster, and good at bat for her. Nice battle going on here with the number 5 batter for Stewartville. To the right side, off of Britton's glove. A nice hard hit ball here for Schuster, and a really nice at bat for her. Britt will be a little upset with herself about that. However, that got on her pretty quick.
Yeah, that was a hard line drive. You really have to have the perfect timing on those, and it's so early in the season that you really haven't seen any of those balls yet.
Well, nobody down here. Top of 6. Good shot on the outside. Swings through that one.
Really big swing there. But we're still not seeing this small ball game out of Stewartville yet, so they're still trying to take those big swings and try to get some extra base hits.
Well, we're getting ourselves to the spot in their order where maybe they want, well, just as we say that.
They heard us.
There you go. Okay, and what I really like about that one, we had all our infielders moving, and then we also had Kylie Sin over there on the right field line. And, you know, sometimes when you talk outfielders, everybody's got to be engaged. There's just a lot that can happen because Bryn did a little back pick over there at first.
Yeah, it's a really great to have everybody engaged, especially those outfielders, because they're your last line of defense at that point.
Little conference with Coach Berg, and
It was a little quick conversation.
maybe they're getting their to-go order up. Good spot over there.
And he did move up in the count a little bit there, so we'll see if he continues to call that.
Even up 2 apiece here. Riley Urban to deliver to Ashlyn Olson. And strikeout for her. First out of this inning. Runner still at first base. Michaela Birch, the playing third base here tonight. Swings away at that one. One strike here, and we've seen Stewartville a couple of times here with one strike. Square to bunt. They haven't been able to get one down, but a little surprised they didn't go there right off the bat.
Yes.
And a nice change. Quickly down 0-2, and that kind of takes that bunt out of play.
Riley's still doing a great job keeping these hitters on their toes. They don't know what's coming at them, if it's going to be that changeup or that fastball. And she's doing a really great job of placing that fastball as well.
Right down Main Street, and Bryn is going to try to back pick again. She'll be safe at first. 2 down, though, in the top of the 6th inning. So another strikeout for Riley.
Yeah, that's number 13 for Riley on the night. So really doing a really great job of staying strong in the circle.
Mac Iverson to the plate, and she falls that one back. She was right there with that one. Nonetheless, she's up 0-1 in this count, and like you mentioned here, 13 strikeouts, and she's been working ahead for the most part tonight.
Yes, staying strong there as well.
If I remember correctly, I don't think she's walked anybody, though, has she?
No, yeah, that's correct. And that's even bigger than strikeouts in my mind. You know, you never want to give up those free bases, and because it just puts more pressure on yourself, more pressure on the defense.
There's that outside.
I am kind of surprised he didn't call that pitch. He is kind of like that pitch,
yeah.
So hopefully we see something.
Comes back inside a bit more. Katrin Johnson takes a couple of steps. Third out. Strand a runner at first base here. And it'll still remain 1-1 in favor of anybody. We're tied up here. We will go to the bottom of the 6th inning, rather, with McKenna Dornack, Britt Ruskell, Katrin Johnson, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Gophers top of the order. McKenna Dornack starting things off here in the 6th inning for the Gophers. New pitcher, however, for Stewartville. They bring in the right-hander. And McKenna with a cut over there just over the Stewartville dugout.
Yeah, luckily for their Gophers is that McKenna's our top of the order, so she's well aware of how to face a new pitcher, so we're in good shoes right now.
And that's Sydney Clark that came over from first base, and Eckerman will go over to first base, and they just swap spots. Trying to work away a little bit on McKenna, maybe being a little bit careful with her. Don't want to give up that big hit to her. But 2-1 to McKenna. She runs well as well, so. Takes a cut, pushes it over to the left side off the top of the fence. Evens the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, Clark with a little bit more speed from what we can see. So, especially with these faster pitchers, you really just have to put the ball in play and let the pitcher do the work for you.
Gonna roll that to the right side. And 4-3 put out here to get McKenna Dornack. So, good job here. Productive at bat here. Fouling off quite a few pitches for McKenna and then rolling that one over for a 4-3 put out. But do you think they feel a little more comfortable with the right-hander even though she does throw a little bit quicker? I mean,
it's definitely something you're more used to.
Bunt is going to net ourselves. Well, I thought maybe we hit the bat for a second. However, there's Britt Ruskell with our first base runner. Infield hit.
Yeah, and that rule, we couldn't tell if the bat hit the ball or if anything happened down there, but that rule is kind of fun where if the ball hits the bat, then it's live, but if the bat hits the ball, then it's a dead ball. So those are always fun plays.
I can imagine the arguments that go on at, up in the register, and Catron just couldn't hold off of that one.
I'm liking the big swings. That just shows that they have some confidence. So those aren't bad to see early in the count.
Pop straight back. And I think if you're Clark, you saw her chase. That one was up in the register a little bit as well, but why not come back with another one at the head and see if he can induce another swing? But Catron, veteran ball player here, she's going to try to hang into this count. And she does go up top. Britt Ruskell's going to stay off a few feet. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up Kendall Knutson.
Yeah, if you're in Kendall's shoes right now, you're thinking, okay, she's going up in the count with the last 2 hitters, so I need to stay in my zone and find the pitch that I want to swing at.
And that one's going to be up. Britt Ruskell with a stolen base. Hang on to the base, Britt. There you go. And we'll effectively rule out the hidden ball. I've never seen that work in softball. Baseball, a little easier, I think. But when you have to return to the circle, it's kind of...
Right.
Pitch there. Evens it at 1 apiece. Runner in scoring position at second here with Britt. And this would be a huge run to get in here. They've got their 9 batter and then their top of the order. Good job going to the outside. Little extra juice on that pitch there. And that one's going to be popped to the left side and caught by the shortstop, and that'll be a 3rd out here, and crisis averted for Stewartville. Still tied at 1 apiece, and we go to the top of the 7th inning. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, Gopher fans. First pitch strike here for Riley Urban. Things are knotted up at 1 apiece here going into the top of the 7th inning. Both teams here just trying to bust out. Squares to bunt. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Just assuming here, you want to push runs across, but a little bit of gamesmanship going on here in the 7th inning.
Yes, definitely a pitcher's duel we have going on here.
And Riley stays outside with that one. 2-1. We've got the number 9 batter, Johanna Calhoun.
Riley still keeping the pitch count low, and that's really great to see. Like I said earlier, we're early in the season, so we need to keep those arms fresh and strong.
And she'll lay one down. It'll be foul, however, evens the count at 2 apiece.
Seems like Stewartville's trying to do what Chatfield did the last inning, try to lay down a bunt for a hit, so we'll see how they do here.
So Calhoun with 2 strikes on her. Riley comes on the outside. Bryn, pretty good job of bringing that back. I thought maybe, we thought twice about that one. Full count payoff pitch upcoming here for Riley Urban. And gets her on the outside. Good pitch. Old Reliable on the outside half.
Yeah, really strong pitch there. That was really great.
So that is 15 strikeouts on the day here for her.
I'm thinking 14 right now.
Okay. Well, hopefully 16 when we get done here in this inning. And there's that outside. Boy, she's living right on there.
Yes.
I like it.
It's always nice to see when the pitcher kind of lines up with the umpire's zone and you just have a great day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bad days when you're a little bit opposite than the umpire.
McKenna Dornack fields to her left. Hard throw over there, Grace Finley. Good play.
Yeah, really strong arm there.
Yeah, she's not lacking with the old arm strength. She's got a rocket.
Yes. It's been really fun to watch these girls play this game. It's the first game that I've had the opportunity to watch, so it's really fun to see them play.
Fly ball center field, ranges to her left. Kendall Knutson makes the play. 3 up, 3 down. Wow, nice inning here for Riley Urban. Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th, and Lexi thinks they're still in doubt, but I think we've got a little dramatic ending in play here for the Gophers. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Welcome back, Gopher fans. Well, we've got ourselves a tie ball game at 1 apiece here going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Grace Finley steps to the plate for the Gophers. That one's going to stay up. So 2-0 to her. Clark came in relief of Eckerman for the Tigers, and that one's going to stay up.
I can imagine we're going to see a take here, try to get some base runners on in this last inning. You know, these are the games that you remember that are the most fun, so.
And that's going to be a strike on the outside. Clark comes back with it, kind of gets herself reset. 3-1, still a hitter's count here for Grace Finley. And it's going to hit that outside again. Really consistent call from this umpire tonight, though.
Yeah, I've been super impressed. You know, you never know what you're going to get, and it's a tough job behind the plate, so I've been super impressed.
That one's going to go on the outside as well, and Grace had to take a cut at that. It's been called, so she's going to strike out to start this inning. However, that's going to bring up Riley Urban.
We'll see if Riley can do something for herself out in the circle here.
That one will be on the outside for a strike. 0-1 to Riley. And there's a car. Well, hopefully Tim has his insurance card with him. 0-2 to Riley Urban. And she's going to hang on, foul another one off. Good at bat. Oh, 0-2, Riley Urban, couple of foul balls. And she shoots one over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be down for a hit. There's your starter. Here we go.
Hey, you know what they say, hits are contagious.
Here we go.
Let's keep it rolling.
Well, Bryn Horseman here had herself a walk her first at bat. Went 4-3 in her next at bat, and just looking to break out herself here.
You know, there is one out, but we'll see if they play any small ball here. Try to put that runner in scoring position.
That one's going to stay up. 1-0. Let's see, Brent's got Coach Berg rather with a number system. We're going to go bunt. That's kind of an odd spot. Everyone's going to be safe. Oh, ew. Well, Riley, we're going to talk about that after the game, but good job getting back.
That one did have me holding my breath. That's a situation where you either have to go all the way to third or pray you can make it back to second.
You're in no man's land at that point. You're like, oh, no, here I go. She gets back. Good job here. That throw was off. Just fortunate for Riley that that was, you know, kind of a odd throw back to the base. But a good job here. Really nice bunt in just a spot where no one's getting to that ball.
Yeah, that bunt looked really comfortable. She looked like she had confidence with it, and, you know, everything works out when you put pressure on the defense.
Almost worked out like a swinging bunt and, you know, go past the pitcher and just not enough to get to the second baseman or the first baseman. And Bryn runs well, too. So,
right.
You mentioned small ball, but we've got Kylie up here. Kylie's been struggling a little bit at the plate. See if we can't get ourselves another bunt. Maybe an overthrow and talk him into a little issue over there at third. Kylie's going to square right away and pull back. Center fielder coming in alertly. Nice job.
Yeah, if I'm Riley, I'm taking a really big jump at that point. If I see that center fielder running in, I have a lot of time to get back to second base.
That one's going to stay down. It's going to be out at first base, but runners advance to second and third. Well, here we go.
Hey, it's always good to put balls in play, and that's really great to see that they're really accomplishing these bunts where it can be hard to do that early in the season, so you can tell that they've been working on that hard.
Right, right. Well, we've got Maddie Proper up here. And Maddie's gone 5-3 and struck out in her first at bat. Different pitcher for her. We just shoot one right up the middle here. Maddie and get this one over with. Runners on second and third. That one's going to stay up.
Yeah, really smart play by Proper here, laying off that high pitch, learning from her teammates about what this pitcher likes.
It's going to be a strike on the outside. That's okay here, taking that strike. You got to get a run across, and you get late in the game like this, you want to see one anyway.
Yeah, especially when you haven't seen this pitcher.
Takes a wave at that one, just under it.
And we're in this situation that you really need to take this ball by ball, pitch by pitch, and not make the game get too big. Just think line drive up the middle.
And strikeout right down the middle. Clark comes with the gas. And we go to extra innings. So we go to the 8th inning, and Stewartville looks like they are going to bring their 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Clark, Eckerman, and Schuster, up to the plate. We get free softball here on Tuesday evening here in Chatfield, Minnesota. And we'll see if the Gophers can't shut them down here in the top, and we go to the top of our order as well. So things are going to get interesting pretty darn quickly. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, Gopher fans. Andy O'Connor along with Lexi Chase and Rick Irish. Well, extra ball here this evening in Chatfield, Minnesota. We go to the top of the 8th inning, tied at 1 apiece with Stewartville. Stewartville bringing 3, 4, 5 to the plate. That one's going to stay on the inside.
Yeah, really quick-paced game. It's only 6:34, and we're already in the 8th inning, so really fast game.
Rick needs to be in bed by 7:30, though, so we got to get going. Good cut at that one by Clark. Straight back.
Yeah, it looks like she's on time. We'll see if Riley comes in with her changeup on that outside corner. We'll see what the catcher calls here.
Well, 1 apiece. Going to go to the right side. Kylie, stay in front. That a girl. Knocks it down. First runner here for Stewartville in the top of the 8th inning. And Clark, who had a nice inning in the bottom of the 7th on the mound, is pumped up over that first. And she'll have a pinch runner once again. Ireland Proper once again.
Yeah, Riley right now just needs to take a deep breath, not worry about that hit so much, and really focus on this hitter. Try to get an out where she can get it.
Well, Addie Eckerman to the plate. And she's going to square to bunt. And probably one of those you want to, that's a tough one to handle. Up in the zone. And
yes, I think at this situation, deep in the game like this, you really want to put a ball down that you can put down and advance the runner.
Pop here behind the plate. It is going to be out of play. And Riley up in this count. So 0-2 to her. You want to see how far you can get out there and nibble on that corner? get her to chase or?
Yeah, you're definitely up in the count. You have that room to work.
Goes up. Proper with not too dangerous of a lead over there. And she is going to swing, and we had a runner on first base, so that it's not going to be able to advance here by the batter. However, Bryn had that come off her glove, and we got Proper at second base. And Schuster, who had herself a really nice at bat last time, I think she had 7 or 8 pitch at bat and ended up with a base hit. She's going to shoot one to the right side. Grace is going to knock it down, and she's going to be first. Oh, safe at first. Yeah, she got that foot down on the safety bag just before Grace could flip it over there to Britton.
Yeah, that's a very fast-paced play that you really have to find your foot there really fast, and I can't imagine being in that situation. I did not play second base, so that's really hard to get over there as fast as you can.
So Proper will be over at third base, and we've got Schuster at first. And they're going to give that runner the base.
At this point in the game, that's a smart move. Don't want to be too crazy with the throws here, so let her advance, focus on the runner on third.
So Olson at the plate, and she's going to pop up infield to Britt Ruskell. Ooh, talk.
I may have been holding my breath, but they made the play. You know, it's an out in the books, and it doesn't matter. So.
Yeah, I saw Maddie. I think she called her off, and once and for all here in the last few steps. But she was there to back her up just in case.
Yes, yes.
So Birch steps to the plate for Stewartville, and on the outside, strike one. And once again, working ahead in the count.
Yeah, we have 2 outs right now, so now you really have to focus on this hitter, try to get her off balance.
And she swings there. Took a little something off. It went to the outside and up a bit. But as she's done most of the ball game here, she's up in the count. So she can do about what she wants to. Just needs to, Bryn as a catcher back here, just got to be a wall. Stay in front of everything. And swings through that one, and they strand runners on second and third, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And we will bring up the top of the Gophers lineup. McKenna Dornack, Britton Ruskell, Katrin Johnson, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Gopher fans. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and McKenna Dornack, just missed that one. Caught in center, right center, rather.
Yeah, that's a ball that you hope squeezes by, but it had a little bit too much air underneath it, and they were able to get underneath it.
Good pitch to go after there from Clar. Britt Ruskell comes to the plate for the Gophers. That one's going to be up and out. Ball 1.
McKenna hitting that ball hard still gives confidence to Britt here. She sees that, okay, she hit that ball hard, I can do that too.
That one's going to stay up. You know, the only time Clara's really got in trouble here and gone down, you know, in counts is when her release point just gets a little goofy and she's up in the zone.
Yeah,
that
she
one's going to stay up as well.
definitely likes to live up in the zone right now. So we'll see if she makes an adjustment here as the game progresses.
So 3-0 to Britt Ruskell. Oh, he's going to call that one a strike. Still 3-1. Hitters count. Britt's thinking of a tiny spot where she wants this one. And that one's going to stay up. Base runner here for the Gophers. And a walk to Britt Ruskell.
Yeah, we got the winning run on base, so we'll see what the Gophers do here. If they play a little small ball like they did last inning, or if they let Catron swing away.
Well, Catron's probably going to see one after 4 out of 5 balls. She's going to square and lay one down. And Britt Ruskell over at second base, and that's going to bring up Kendall Knutson. So good job getting that bunt down.
Yeah, really good bunt. You can see that they're really confident with that, and that's really, really great to see, like I said earlier. I was wondering if Britt was going to sneak her way over to third. The third baseman was having a tough time getting back there, but she kept it safe. You know, we're in the 8th inning, so great heads-up play there.
So Kendall with a healthy cut at that one. Good strike on the outside, but Kendall just about up with it. And she's going to foul that one off. 0-2.
Yes, if you're in Britt's shoes on second right now, you're thinking, okay, she has 2 strikes. If I see her starting to swing, I'm breaking for third just so I can maybe sneak home.
And that one's going to be outside. Clara looking to go out there and see what she can get out of that call. 1-2. Kendall Knutson, runner on second base, and Britt Ruskell. Ooh, that one's going to stay just down.
Umpire still being consistent with that pitch, still calling just at the knees and no lower, so that's really great to see again.
Counts even at 2. Kendall Knutson, shot over to the right side, stay fair. No. It's foul. There's that shooter you want down that line. Good job just getting the head of the bat out there. Let that ball do the work.
Yeah, and you could see Britt Ruskell. She was on her toes. She was breaking for home, no doubt about that.
Well, nice battle going on here right now between Kendall Knutson and Clar. Kendall, see that one drops. It's going to get down. Britt Ruskell's going to come in from second base. Walk-off fashion. Gophers win this one 2-1.
Wow, really, really great at bat there.
I like it. I like it. Well, it took us 8 innings, but Gophers come out victorious on this one. And, you know, nice showing. Really good ball club here. A nice ball club in Stewartville. And if I'm not mistaken, are they 3A, correct?
Yeah, that sounds
okay,
right. Yep.
So they're 3A. They're a good ball club. They play in the HVL. They see a lot of really good clubs over there. But nice win for the Gophers here tonight. Riley Urban, really good night on the mound. And Clar and Eckers, let's see. Clar and Eckerman for Stewartville just had a really nice one too. So, Lexi, if we can just really quickly here see what we've got going on for stats for Chatfield.
Yeah. As far as pitching wise, we have Riley Urban pitching all 8 innings for us. She gave up 6 hits and only 1 run on the day with 16 strikeouts, so that's a huge day for Riley. She did such a great job of staying up in the count and working her count, and then even keeping the hitters off balance with her great changeup that we saw today. So overall, just a really great job today overall there. And then for Stewartville, we had Eckerman pitching 5 innings for Stewartville with 1 run, 1 walk, and then she had 10 strikeouts. So she also had a really great outing today. She kept our hitters on her toes, and you could tell she was really working the count there. And then we had Clar pitching 2.2 innings with 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, and then 1 walk as well with 3 strikeouts. So both of those pitchers did a really great job of keeping the hitters on their toes and working as a team together there. As far as hitting, the Gophers, we have Britton Ruskell with 1 hit on the day. We have Kendall Knutson with 1 hit on the day. Riley Urban, and then Bryn Horseman as well with 1 hit on the day. And we could really see that small ball coming into play with some of those hits, which is really crucial for this game, especially with this 2-1 game in 8 innings. And then we have Stewartville. They had tallied up around 6 hits on the day with 1 run. And then they also had 16 strikeouts as a team. So both teams you could see was a pitcher's duel, and we could really see that come into play with this 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the small ball and the bunts. Stewartville had some issues getting bunts down when they really wanted to or needed to. Chatfield here, I think, fouled off 1 bunt, but other than that, they did a really nice job squaring up there, not getting too wild with the bat, and let the, just here and not swinging with the bat when they're trying to bunt. They laid down some really nice bunts tonight. So, and that was the difference in the game. We're getting Britt over to second base. Obviously, you have that hit that's going to bring her in by Kendall Knutson with that winning RBI, and Britt coming around to score. But the runs were at a premium. Pitching was really good on both sides tonight. And it's just those little things. We did pretty darn well as far as defensively. I think 1 error tonight. We had that play right away from third base here. We just had a throwing slash, I don't know who we would give that error to, honestly.
Right.
Just one of those plays that got away from us.
Yeah,
and
it's so early in the
yeah.
in the season that I'm not stressed about that whatsoever.
Yep.
They haven't seen a lot of balls off the dirt. They've probably been in the gym the last few weeks. So any of those plays, we're going to get our kinks out, and it's going to be an uphill road from here.
Well, we go to Winona Cotter on Friday night, correct, Ricky?
I think we might be
Okay.
home
No,
that
we're
game.
home at Winona Cotter. The boys are
Yes.
at Cotter down there by the creek. So we see Cotter, and Cotter, I'm not sure what they got this year. They are always well coached, and no matter if they have a young group coming up or not, they're coached the right way. So it'll be a good ball game again. Always is with them when we see them, no matter what the case might be. But Lexi, appreciate you coming up tonight. It was good to have you in town. It's good to see you.
Oh, thank you. It was
Yeah.
my pleasure to be here. It's fun to see the team play and come back and see some familiar faces. So I'm happy to be here.
So hopefully here, if things work out later in the year, EB can talk you into this whole thing again. So once you get into CCTV, the deal, you can't get out of it.
Oh, gosh.
We don't require any branding or tattoos or anything, so it's okay. You might get a jacket out of it though. No, Rick, we don't need that one. But yeah, but we really appreciate it, and we hope you had a good time coming up here. And good luck here this spring. And you're in Iowa.
Yep, I'm in Iowa. I'm coaching a little bit there, and then I'm going to PT school right now. So it's
Oh,
a busy,
perfect.
busy life. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're into your clinicals in your last 3 years of all that good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a lot of work, but it'll all be worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but yeah. So it's a great profession to be in, and I'm glad you're sticking around and being part of the game. But that kind of doesn't go away as quickly
Right,
as
no,
one might think.
No, I love coming back here and coming back to the roots, as they say, and seeing, I've been able to coach a lot of these girls, so it's really great to see how they've grown and how now they can represent Chatfield as I did back in the day.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps moving, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Well, thank you once again for Lexi Chase and Rick Irish. I'm Andy O'Connor. Evie, thanks for letting me do this for you and fill in tonight. Hope you had a good time over there at Gus Davis, and we will talk to you later. Stay safe, everyone. Good night, all.